Welcome back. This presentation will be primarily about how the internet works again, and then we'll go through creating a very simple HTML page. The internet, we've seen this a few times now. Simply, you use a web browser, you send a request over the internet, and that request is received by the server at the destination, wherever you've directed your request. And that server will basically process the request, and it may need to use something like a database. And once it processes that request, it'll respond back to you over the internet to your web browser, actually. And it'll be in the form of HTML. So really all a web browser does is it interprets, it reads HTML, hypertext markup language, and puts it in a form that you can read. So that said, we're just going to go, actually we'll go to a web page. You can go to any web page and do this. And I chose Craigslist because it's a pretty simple web page. But just find some open space, right click, and view page source. And you get to see, you can scroll down and see. And soon, hopefully a lot of this will make sense to you, but that's the actual HTML of the page. And when it's rendered, that's what we see. All right. So now I'm going to open up a text editor. I'm going to use Notepad++. You can use Notepad. You can use something on the Mac. And like I say, I found a nice little program that works in Chrome just called Text. And I might end up switching over to that. But we're going to now talk about what HTML is. And really, HTML is a series of tags or commands. The tags that the browser understands the commands and interprets them and makes it happen. And let's just go through what some of those are. So there's a lot of basic ones here. And the first one you're going to learn is HTML, hypertext markup language. And whenever you have a tag, that's an opening tag, we have to have a closing tab. So I go all the way down here, and I'm going to put a closing tag, which is no more than a / in the same tag. And that just tells the browser that the content is complete. Okay, we'll always have a head. Okay, make sure I get my closing tag here. So I'll go up here and / head. And if there's a head, there's probably going to be a body. Type in body here. And then give it a space or two. I probably shouldn't be doing that because I'm losing the HTML at the bottom there, but I'll just put another tag here and close body. All right. And in fact, it'll fill in here. Okay, so those are all your basic ones. And like I say, those are just commands that the browser understands, and it'll act accordingly. So now where we're going to go to is within the head. Okay, let's just put a title. So what I like to do is right here, once again, just put a title. And we'll just say this is title of the web page. And then we'll close, and that's kind of, you'll learn how to kind of make sense of when to start a new line, when not to start a new line, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to do that. All right, body. The next thing I want to talk about is let's put something inside the body. One thing to notice is there's another tag that we like to use, and it's just called the div tab. And really all that does is it just divides, or it's a division. So we're going to keep groups of text together, or groups of concepts or whatever together within div tags. And once again, whenever I put a excuse me, a tag, I just go ahead and space down and put the close tag so I don't forget it. because that once you start trying to decode or make mistakes and try and figure out where the problems are, those are the things you're going to forget. All right. Now let's move on and let's do something like we can just simply write in this as text. No problem. I can hit enter, 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 and there's much white space in there as possible, but the browser is not going to render all that space. We have to tell it when there's a space. So when there's a space, where we can make a space, we can do break tag. And this is a good one because there's no really content within the open and close tags, so we'll just combine them into one. This is one of the very few times that you'll see that there's really no need for both an opening and closing tags. There's just one. And in fact, I want 2 lines there. So I'm going to do BR and put another one. And now I'm going to type in this is, and I'm going to do bold text. And to make it bold, I'm going to give it another tag. And this tag is just B, bold text, and close B, period there. Good. That was so much fun. I'm going to go ahead and copy my breaks again. And add another one. And let's do, how about this is italics. Text. In order for me to do that, I got to come back here and give it the italics command or tag, and that's just a simple I. And then close it, which is /I, period. All right, so we can do underlines, we can do all kinds of things there, but we'll just move on. The next thing I'm going to do is copy, give a little break there, and paste. And let's do a link. So this is a link. Now link, the command or the tag is A. A is actually for anchor. And I'm going to put that now. So there's the anchor. And then I'll just put link and close anchor. And some tags, bold and italics may not need this, but some tags need a reference. What is it going to be a link to? So I want that to be link with an underline. So now I'm going to go back and do link, and the term here is href equals, and we got to put the website we want it to go to. So you've all seen this, http://www. And we'll just go to google.com. That's a simple one. And for this, you can, I'll point you in directions where you can learn all kinds of neat code, but right now I'm just doing these simple things. You can just really copy what I'm doing, and you'll get the assignment completed here. The other thing we can do, so that's going to give me it's going to take me to Google. And one more thing I can do is I can do an email link. So this is an email link. All right, and let's say it once again. It's an anchor, and we need a reference. I'm going to forget to put my close anchor. But href equals, and this one is mail to, and colon, and then I'm going to put in my email, mail.uc.edu. Tough knowing that people are watching me type. See if I can stretch this out. You can see it. Come on. And close parentheses. There's your there. In the email link, we need to close the anchor. We're filling this up pretty good. All right, so I think I'm done there. All right, that's all the stuff I need. So here's what you do. Once you've looked over your code, you're pretty confident your code is where you want it to be. Go ahead and say File and Save As. And I'm just going to put it on my desktop. and I'm going to call it the file name. I'm just going to call it basic. And there's a reason behind it. And I could just type in HTML. I'm using the Notepad++, so now I can choose that from the dropdown. You may have to change save as type and call it all files, and then just type in HTML. And that's probably what I should do. But HTML hypertext markup language right there. So see how the name of the file is basic.html, and I save that. Okay, and let's make this a little smaller so you can see all my text. Okay, and now if I go back to my desktop and find that file and double click on it, it's going to open in a web page, and I see that I did everything right. So this is the text. I didn't do anything to that text. This is bold text. It was bold, italics. Here's the link. If I click on the link, it's going to go to Google. And let's go back on that one. And then my email link is going to try and launch my Gmail to get that done. So hopefully you can follow those directions. Feel free to watch it again or look at some of the reference links I've given you. All right, good luck.